You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Happy Sunday, April 14th. I'm Kimberly Perot, and welcome to GMV Express. On today's show, we look at photographer Milo Gladstein, plus Ben Belgrad and Drinking Vessels, and all of the artists that showcase their work there. And then we've got flatbread pizza in the kitchen, lots of fun, and Tegan with the Eagle Valley Library District. All of that is getting started, so let's take a look and start right now.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you" on 92? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on Mountain Perspectives. And our expanded Spanish programming block. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website, tv8vail.com.
Welcome to Hiring America, the television program that helps veterans find jobs and transition back into civilian life. Hi everyone, I'm Gigi Stone Woods. I'm truly honored to host this vital program. Reach out to the opportunities you see on this program by logging onto our website, hiringamerica.net, and by following us on social networking sites such as Twitter. We'll keep that information available throughout the broadcast and on our website 24/7. Now, let's get down to business.
Good morning, Vail.
Now, we love Ben Belgrad and Drinking Vessels and all of the incredible creativity and artistry that they offer. He brought some of the artists to join him here on the couch in a conversation with Kevin. Let's take a look.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. The Vail Valley prides itself on the amount of art and entertainment that we provide to our locals and to those visiting the valley. I am lucky enough today to be joined by 4 inspirational individuals that really put the amazing A into art. And if you've watched the show, Ben, you've been on quite a few times, Drinking Vessels, and you've got some of your vessels here that you've glass blown, but we also have a lot more that you're adding to the studio.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for having us back on.
Yeah, my pleasure. So we've got some pottery going on. We've got some photography, all great art that the Valley thrives on. So Heather, let's go to you first. Let's talk about pottery. How did you get introduced to pottery, and kind of tell me about that passion?
So I've been an artist my whole life. My mother realized when I was a child that I needed an outlet. And so I've started working in clay when I was 4 years old and have continued throughout my life. I have sculpted in wood and bronze and clay, and I just always come back to clay.
Yeah.
It's so diverse in what you can do. The color spectrum is amazing. There's all sorts of different firing techniques that you can use. So it's sort of an ever-changing and evolving art form.
Nice, very nice. And so which piece on the table is yours? Do you have one on?
Actually, none of these are
None
mine.
of those are yours? Shame on you. All right. Then Ray.
These are all mine.
I'm stealing the show. My name's Ray.
Yeah, so I started doing ceramics in college. I originally started out with graphic design and realized very quickly that I hated being behind a computer constantly. So I did every art class I possibly could and ended up sticking with the dirtiest one.
Now, I heard a story before we went on air about you just throwing pottery from your bedroom.
Yeah, so I have been out in Vail for a couple of years now, and my wheel was not with me, and I've just been feeling kind of empty, honestly.
Yeah.
I got my wheel back, and I had been throwing my stuff in my room. I have a pretty big room.
Yeah. Good.
And I found Ben through mutual friends where I was able to put my kiln in his studio. So that's how this started, was just me firing in his studio. And then recently, they have upgraded to getting their new gallery. And now their old studio, or their old office, is my new studio.
See, I can see where the wheel in the bedroom would work, but the kiln, maybe not so
Yeah,
much.
that was never in the bedroom.
Yeah, okay.
But there's plenty of cat hair in everything I make.
Okay.
Just so you know.
A little love in there. Okay. Now, Heather, you were pointing out talking about, you needed an outlet as a child. I think now you look around society and you see kids glued to a device of some kind. What a great outlet that art really can transition them out of being glued to the technology and into the creative realm.
And it's so true because it is so tactile, especially with children. It's endless of what they can do as opposed to sitting like this.
Right.
It also, in learning how to work with clay, it starts communication and asking great questions of, oh, what are air bubbles? Or, ooh, this is slimy. Or, oh, I love the way I can make a ball and a square. And then how do you put that into, as a kid, like, I want to make a fish.
Right.
So it gives them even more if they're a visual learner than just if they were to draw, you know? So it's a different, and just that textile really does help children.
Yeah. Now, Ray, we talked about, you know, creating the things that you create too, but now all of a sudden you've turned into an entrepreneur. So now you're having to learn the art of business and selling and marketing and all the things that go along with it. How has that worked out for you?
It's very nerve-wracking. I feel really shy about it. Sometimes it's nerve-wracking to put a price on something and to say this is worth this to me,
Right.
and then to have somebody be like, $50 for a cup, you know,
Yeah.
and not realizing how much time and money that I've spent putting into it, and also the years that I've spent crafting my style or my ability to do these things. But in regards to the entrepreneurship and stuff, I feel very well set up under Ben to have that mentorship that I wouldn't have had just in my bedroom posting
Right.
on Instagram or something. So
Yeah.
he's a great resource
Nice.
for that.
Now, Remy, you capture things with the art of photography. How'd you get started?
I've always used photography as an outlet since I was a child, and then I got into film photography. And I think it's a bit different because you don't have the chance to take multiple photos and then go through it and delete it. It's like you have to take that photo.
Right.
And having a darkroom space is very rare. There is one in the valley. It's at Battle Mountain because I grew up here, but it's not as accessible, and it was never a big thing. So it's just really nice to have that outlet because it's you printing your own photo and taking that time, like, and going through it to get the color composition and all of that. And they're all different and individual, which I really like. And I kind of see the world through like a camera lens almost. So
Yeah.
it just helps me kind of explain how I'm feeling and really like put it into a visual aspect.
Yeah. And I notice in all three of you, it's the emotion that goes into it. And I can see where it's hard to put a price on it.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, oh, this is worth this amount because of everything that goes into it. That passion, the blood, the sweat, the tears. And like you said, I'm expressing my emotion.
Yeah. And how we
that's-
see the world.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's fun. I mean, Ben, I know you've created this studio and you've brought these amazing individuals together. And what a wonderful opportunity for them to tell their story, because that's, at the end of the day, it's not a glass, it's not a cup, it's not a plate, it's you.
Right.
That is in that 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had the studio for about 7 years here in Minturn, and I've actively been trying to find ways to reach the community. And with our current expansion project, we've been able to build this clay studio, we've been able to build this dark room, and we're open to creating space for other artists if they can fit into like the amount of space we have, and interact with the team of people that are working at the studio. But I also feel like it opens a lot of doors. Ray has been reproducing one of our glass mug designs in clay, and soon we'll be able to offer 2 different products that are the same design but different materials. And I think that gives an opportunity for different price points, for people who prefer the texture of clay or glass. And it's really exciting to see. We've just moved these women into the studio, but it'll be really exciting to see what other collaboration we can come up with.
Yeah, I think I can just feel the energy that's going to be taking place in there. And we were talking earlier about the show, whether you're blowing glass or you're turning pottery, there's a motion, there's a circular motion. And how does that vibe within you?
Well, I've offered to each of the girls, and as we get more settled, they'll probably all try blowing glass at the studio.
Yeah.
I also am very excited to try getting on a wheel and throwing some pots.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, even at summer camp, I had experience in a dark room and printing my own photographs.
Yeah.
And I do some photography myself as well. So I'm excited to have access to these resources as much as to be able to provide, the space for these artists to create their work.
Yeah.
I think it's also really important to note that so there are people who do art by themselves and they have a very solitary existence in their art, but I think all of us are really, really excited to be around one another and thrive off of each other's energy, passion. If I'm struggling with this shape or that shape, I can bring it to Ben and say, do you like this transition? Do you like this handle shape? And I mean, he's never looking to me for like do like this glass, but maybe one day.
That's not true. That's not true.
Well, it's also just being in a creative space altogether because it just gives you a different perspective. So
Yeah.
like if you're having trouble with that and you just want to come in the dark room, you can just do that for
Yeah.
a little bit, and then it just like can give you a new idea, which is really nice.
Right. It's that emergence of that individuality back into a group setting to where you get that feedback, which will be a little bit a different dynamic maybe in sharing with others while you're creating your art.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have artists come from around the country to come work at the studio. And also we have collectors who travel to come see our collection and purchase work. And it's really valuable for everybody to be able to get feedback from not only other artists and myself, but from the people who are buying these products. You know, I don't typically like to cater my work to what people are specifically wanting. I like to make my own art. But I also have to keep in mind, if the market isn't buying what I'm making, then it might not be the right thing to make at the time.
Yeah, I can see that, but I also see the fact is, you know, you may not know what you want until it's put out in front of you and it's got someone else's fingerprint on it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's just valuable to be able to have so much different feedback and energy going on at the studio, and I think it really contributes to the creativity of the space.
And now women.
And now we have
Oh
women,
yeah, a little bit
Well,
of estrogen in the studio.
You know, the glass world has been a male-dominated industry for a long time, and I was mentioning to these girls over coffee this morning that it's really nice having different energy in the studio, and you know, having a space that's you know, like open and diverse. Yeah.
So if people want to come by and see this, where are you located?
So we're in the Jerry Sibley Plumbing Building in Minturn, down at the end of town, 1040 Main Street. And typically we're open by appointment, but sometimes we have events and programming, and we've been talking about more programming that we can offer now that there's more people that can contribute to that.
I'm really excited about that aspect of things, of getting to do more artsy things in Minturn or Vail that aren't so high end, that it can be really approachable just to go and experience art. You don't have to make $1,000 purchase to enjoy the fact that you're walking around seeing beautiful stuff, meeting cool people, and I'm really excited about that environment
And
kind
with
of
this,
evolving.
you get to take away a piece of Vail with you.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, and for people who want to support the arts here in the Valley, we're one of the few creative spaces that's available for people. And so people can certainly reach out through our website, drinkingvessels.com, to get in touch with us about how they can come and buy the work of these artists and of the other artists that I represent, and of my work as well. So we're just trying to create a space that's conducive for that here in the Valley.
And a community for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to have that here. Like with how expensive it is to live here as an artist, it's really difficult to have those spaces. So this is like giving us a chance to do that, which is really nice.
Well, thank you all for being here, sharing your passion, sharing everything that you're doing there. And if you're out there in the community, get out, take home a piece of Vail with you. What a great way to do it. We'll be back soon with more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Check your local listings.
Next up, we've got a special duo from two of the best voices in the bluegrass and country genres.
We know you're going to love this one from Melanie Cannon and Willie Nelson. Here's Back to Earth.
Songs our love created, I still sing. And every night we beg the rafters ring.
My name is Tyler Alvarez. I work here at Sweet Basil in Vail. I'm a bartender here. I originally came to Vail to snowboard. I slept on my sister and my cousin's couch for what was supposed to be a week, turned into 2 months, and then I found my own spot, and then kind of made friends and worked different places in the valley, and kind of just fell in love with it more and more every single day, and ended up finding my way to Sweet Basil through some friends who had worked here and all the great things that I heard about it. And yeah, I've been here for 4 years now. It's hard to wake up in Vail and be upset when you look outside. It's just beautiful. My favorite part about working at Sweet Basil is definitely that I could be proud about everything that we're putting out, whether it's food, drinks. We also get to be really creative here. The bartenders, the whole team here, we workshop our menus every season, so we'll start with a spirit or an ingredient, and then we get to be really creative and make a whole project of it. And then when we get the final product, it's a drink that we're all really proud of for the whole menu, and that's super fun, just being able to be creative and work with new things. And the most fun cocktails to make, though, are definitely the ones that we get to create from scratch. When people take a sip and say, oh my God, this is delicious, or they just love it. And that's probably the most fun for me, the creativity behind it and making unique cocktails. That, for me, that would be the most fun drink to make, just the one that you start from scratch and then people are excited about. I'm Tyler, I live and work in Vail. Come see me at Sweet Basil.
Good morning, Vail.
Hello everyone, my name is Kim Fuller and this is Covered Bridge on TV8. I'm the editor-in-chief of Covered Bridge Magazine.
And I'm Bobby LaRue, the Director of Partnerships at Covered Bridge Magazine.
And we have with us this morning Jen Brown, the Executive Director of Vail Veterans Program. Welcome, Jen.
Thank you. Great to see you both.
Yeah, you too.
You too.
Yeah, you too. We've had the pleasure of having the Vail Veterans Program in our magazine this issue, so our winter-spring issue of Covered Bridge. It's your 20th anniversary of Vail Veterans and just a super exciting time to celebrate. So we're really happy to have you. Tell us a little bit about the program and what this 20th anniversary really means for you.
Well, first off, we're super excited to be celebrating our 20th this coming March, and I think it really signifies the power and the impact that this organization has had over the last 20 years. And it's really through Cheryl Jensen's vision and the support of the community that has made it what it is today. And I think the other important thing is that we're continuing to have an impact. Over the last 20 years, really, as we've seen conflict change around the world, we continue to see the need to serve wounded veterans and their families. And we're just grateful for the community and the partnerships that we've had to really evolve the programs that we offer today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so since 2004, you guys have helped almost 4,000 people, right?
Mm.
And you mentioned that the conflicts and other things are happening. Are you still seeing the trajectory of the program growing each year?
It's really interesting because we do see the need continue, and I think there's also a change in how we serve our participants. As injuries that are lifelong change, as we see our alumni go through maybe additional surgeries or on their healing journey as their needs change, we can bring them back to our programs. And we've seen more female veterans come into the program over the course of a couple of years. Mm-hmm. We've also had the opportunity through Cheryl's work to evolve to support caregivers and provide support to families and kids in other ways, in addition to being on the slopes.
That's great. And so March is when everything happens.
March is really the true anniversary, and the goal is to bring our original 7 wounded vets back to be a part of our program. Our March program does take place at that time, so really the culmination of that week of programming, it's to really honor and show appreciation for our donors, our sponsors, and the community, and have those original 7 vets be present and participate in the 20th.
So yeah, you just brought up something I never really thought of, the 7 vets who started. Is this a program where someone attends once, or do they come back multiple years in a row, or how do you see them interacting with what you guys provide?
That is a great question. I'm so glad that you asked that, because one of the things that sets Vail Veterans Program apart is that we talk about bringing our participants into the Vail Veterans Program family. So if, let's say, they come for a January winter family program, it might be a couple of years later, we might invite them back for a summer program, or we might invite the wounded vet back for our Gulf program. We have a variety of ways in which we can help continue their healing experience. And I think one of the great things is, let's say 20 years ago somebody came and participated, maybe they're married now, or maybe their kids have moved on. We have other ways to bring them into the experience, and what we like to say is, once they come to Vail, they're a part of the Vail community and our family, and we're here to support them throughout the duration of their healing journey. It's really a lifetime.
I love that. I mean, that's fantastic. With the programs that you guys provide, obviously it started on snow, but you just brushed on a couple other things. When did you guys transition, and what are some of the other offerings that people can take advantage of?
Well, and this was really through Cheryl, and I think the journey that she has been on with the organization, it's through partnerships, through longtime supporters, families like the May family and Black Mountain Ranch. They created the opportunity to send 3 families each summer up to Black Mountain Ranch and have a complete Western experience. And that just evolved over time, but they've really been a partner with us for many, many years now, and through summer outdoor recreation. She started the summer programs, and we have rafting, fly fishing, hiking for those who like to hike, and just outdoor experiences that really expose our wounded vets and their families to what the outdoors is all about here, to the mountains, and really seeing and experiencing the outdoors in different ways, and mostly through an adaptive lens. One of the great examples is our rock climbing partners shared with me. They can create pulley systems. So if we have a vet who is maybe a double amputee, they can anchor the climbing ropes so that our vets can pull themselves up and actually experience rock climbing, which is incredible. And that's a great sport where family members even can participate together, and they all learn to overcome maybe fears and challenges and do something that they never imagined doing. Rafting is another great experience for them. There's nothing like being in rapids and in the springtime around here with the runoff. And we have so many of our winter supporters, a lot of our ski patrollers, our rafting guides in the summertime. They've been around our programs for many, many years. So we tend to see a lot of the same supporters and faces. I think also really important is our adaptive ski and snowboard instructors are truly part of our family. We have instructors that have been with the program since the beginning, and they really are dedicated to helping our wounded vets rediscover their hope and learn how to do skiing and snowboarding and have new experiences on the hill through adaptive, whether it's ski, snowboard, or even ski biking.
That's amazing. And I'm sure, Cheryl, with her initial vision, didn't necessarily know how big this would get. And I love this quote, and maybe she did, but this is from Cheryl Jensen, and it's from our current issue on our feature on Vail veterans and the 20th year mark. We help them find something in their soul and feed their passion again. We're providing that avenue for them to realize they can do anything. So Cheryl was inducted into the Colorado Snow Sports Hall of Fame last August. So, speaking for her a little bit, what is the significance of what she's created and having that vision come to fruition?
Well, first off, Cheryl is an amazing individual, and I think her induction into the Colorado Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame really signifies celebrating all of her hard work. And she has done many, many things even beyond Vail Veterans Program, but I think it's the culmination of the 20 years celebrating her legacy. And 20 years ago, I'm sure she would say, I don't know if I would have been doing this today. And she is still actively involved in everything that we're doing, and it's her passion. It's her love for the veterans that we serve, their families, and it's her heart and soul. She has really shown me through her kindness, her patience, and really just her willingness to help others and go to the ends of the earth to help people. She's a special individual, and I think that's also what makes this program so special, is that it's that connection with our participants, and it's that genuine care and appreciation. And for those that we serve, they feel it. It's genuine and it's authentic, and it's just a gift that she has that she shares with others, and she excites us and really wants us to do more and inspires us to do more every day.
I love that.
I love it. I mean, it's quite a unique program that you guys created, and to me, one of the special parts, especially if you take a look at the article, is you're impacting, yes, the person, the individual, but it ripples out into their family. It ripples out into, like you said, maybe even the caregivers. And, you know, I think one of my favorite things about reading the article was one of the young ladies was talking about how it made her so excited to see her dad smile again. And like, that almost brings tears to my eyes just reading that. So it's pretty special that you guys have created a really unique program, but it's not just about the person, it's about them as a whole, and then including their family in on that journey with them.
And truly, I mean, for every program that we have those moments of it's tears of joy. Cheryl has had 20 years of sharing in those tears and the journey with everybody, but there are those special moments, and that's truly where it's that one-on-one connection, and you feel the power of the experience and the impact. And it's discovery. You know, it might be mom, dad, it might be the child who have that, like, wow, I just did this moment, and then they did it together. And there aren't too many opportunities for these families to be together in a place where they are safe, protected, and can just be. It's really special.
Wow.
I love that.
So Jen, especially this March with the 20th anniversary, how can people get involved with the Vail Veterans Program with donations and with their just maybe even coming and helping, volunteering? What are some of the opportunities?
We really appreciate and love the support of our community, and if people would like to donate, we would be very grateful. People can go to vailveteransprogram.org and donate, and then the celebration is really sharing the stories throughout the next several months and talking about what we do and who we serve and showcasing really through that experience. So, you know, would love to come back and talk with you. And in terms of volunteering, we on our website have a way to contact us. We do have some volunteer opportunities. They're not large, but certainly, you know, if we have ways that we can bring in volunteers, we love to do so. But I think the most important thing is just honoring and really remembering the service that our nation's heroes provide, and really continuing to support them is the most important.
Wow. Well, thank you, Jen Brown, Executive Director of the Vail Veterans Program, who is celebrating its 20th anniversary this March. Be sure to pick up the most recent issue of Covered Bridge magazine, the winter spring issue, and thank you for tuning in to Covered Bridge on TV8.
Remember, enjoy the journey.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
TV8 te brinda la mejor programación en español todos los días. Sintoniza Conexión Latina los lunes, miércoles y viernes a las 7 de la tarde con repeticiones los fines de semana. Además, te presentamos nuestro nuevo programa Sabores y Creaciones, donde hemos juntado tus recetas y manualidades favoritas en un solo lugar los martes y jueves a las 7 de la tarde. Y por último, disfruta de Daily Flash Latino, con noticias y entretenimiento en tendencia los sábados a las 7 de la tarde. Te esperamos por el canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página de Facebook TV8 Conexión Latina, nuestro canal de YouTube TV8 Vail Good Morning Vail o nuestra página web tv8vail.com.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, we see one couple fall in love with a waterfront fixer-upper.
It sort of wrapped its arms around us and said, you want me, and we did.
And watch as another battles over the budget.
We're trying to look through and see where we can trim at this point.
Are you looking to trim it, Ginger?
No.
No. Construction pros show us the right way to renovate.
Well, we had to do a roof over. We had to hand build a lot of the trusses.
As we're putting the thin set down, the self-leveler has a little clip that clips up underneath the edge of the tile.
Do you have an interesting hobby or skill you'd like to share for Vail Valley? We want to hear from you. We're looking for people to share their musical, artistic, culinary, woodworking, athletic, or technical talents on Good Morning Vail. If you'd like to share your talents with the community, email Danielle at tvavail.com. Join the community conversation. There's more for you on 92.
Daily Flash.
I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to
Mitch English and Andrea Jackson have co-hosted together for over a decade. And now, only on Daily Flash, they serve up a fast, fun, fresh perspective on the day's trending news and entertainment. Daily Flash offers the latest in pop news, celebrity gossip, fashion, health, wellness, and even some unscripted, irreverent, who knows what's next fun. Daily Flash with Mitch English and Andrea Jackson. Trending news and entertainment.
Good morning, Vail.
Sometimes you want to be fancy and creative with your cooking, and I show you how to make a delicious spinach and sausage flatbread, which is so easy to whip up in the kitchen. Let's take a look. Oh, well, thanks for joining us. We're here in the kitchen.
Yes, love it.
Well, you know, I am a big fan of having like restaurant quality, easy to make at home meals, and what can you do that with is a good flatbread.
Love it.
Yeah, so Ross, do you like a flatbread?
Yeah, easy ingredients and
Easy.
I mean pizza.
Yeah, it's exactly right. You know, I think flatbread is like pizza with a fancy twist.
I like that.
So we're going to go ahead and do that. And these are really great ingredients. You can put whatever you want to on it, but we're going to do spinach and sausage. So we've got just regular pork breakfast sausage. You can throw that in there. It really doesn't matter. You can use any kind of sausage that you want to. So we're going to just put a little bit into our skillet that's been heating. So you just need a dab of olive oil. And then we've got the oven preheating and ready to go. So I actually like to toast my flatbread a little bit as well before we get going on making this pizza. But the best part is once you can kind of like cook everything down, it's not going to take that long to heat it up and to get ready to enjoy it. So I don't know. Ross, do you make pizza at home?
No.
No. Well, he's about to
No.
because we are working on this new flatbread recipe. But this is great. You can just get these flatbreads usually in like the fresh deli section of your grocery store. And we got two here, so we'll start with one. I like to brush them with olive oil or some sort of oil just to crisp it up a little bit before we actually start layering our toppings. So Ross, if you wouldn't mind passing me the olive oil.
Check.
Awesome. We're gonna make this into a sausage and spinach white sauce flatbread. So again, flatbread to me is just like the easiest way of saying a fancy pizza.
Yeah.
And it's not that big, so you don't feel bad if you eat the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's not as like heavy, right? So
Exactly.
you can
And
feel good about it.
You know what I actually like to do? I pour a little bit of olive oil on it, and then I've got this basting brush. So I'll just kind of brush my pizza here with the olive oil. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'll move this olive oil out of the way. But we're just brushing it. Our oven is preheated. And while we continue to chop and cook everything else, we'll let this crisp up in the oven. So you just want to make sure you spread it out evenly, just like that. And then the best part is if you wanted to make this like a garlicky white sauce pizza, you can put real garlic on it, or in the essence of time and making sure your fingers don't smell bad, we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of garlic salt all over this pizza. And again, this is the best part. You don't need to have exact measurements. You can just do whatever you got in your pantry, or if you wanted to run to the store. And I know for us here, city market is 5 minutes away, probably from everybody's place of residence. So you can just grab whatever ingredients you need to at the store. So I put some olive oil on the pizza, and then I put a little bit of the garlic salt. So while we're cooking the sausage, I'm gonna put this into the oven just so it crisps up a bit.
Kim, what are your thoughts on pineapple?
I am a fan of pineapple on pizza. I think it's I like the idea of like a little bit of the juicy sweetness with the salty of whatever meat that it's usually paired with.
Yeah.
I could go ham, I could go bacon.
I think pineapple and jalapeno is like a classic combo.
That sounds so good right now. Unfortunately, that's not what we're doing
That's okay.
today.
That's
but,
okay.
You know, that would be a really great combo here as well. So we've got some spinach. We're gonna go ahead and put some spinach on this pizza as well while you continue to brown up that sausage. So we're gonna pull it up here. And you know, if you don't have a proper knife on hand, that's okay. You don't need to, because spinach does wilt when you're cooking it.
Right.
But we're just gonna cut it up a little bit. I like to kind of take the end pieces off here, just like that, because sometimes that gets a little stringy when you're eating it. So we'll go ahead and do that, and you can just grab a few, you can chop them off, whatever you need to do to make it easy. And then I'm gonna just do a rough chop of this spinach. That sausage is looking killer.
How big do we want these pieces?
You know, just bite size, whatever
Okay.
you want. So I'd say just kind of smash it up, looking great, nailing it.
I mean, this is the best size sausage that I've ever saw.
And can we talk about my sole purpose in 2024 is to make you an expert chef by the end of the year? I think it's working. I don't know. You're looking pretty good.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I think
don't
he's
know.
doing great, ladies and gentlemen. I
Yeah,
really do.
yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel? Do you feel better
One of
about
these
it?
days, I'm gonna lead it. All
Yeah,
right,
it's
we'll
exactly
figure it
right.
out. But one of these days,
You know, I keep telling Kevin that too. Kevin says he's been to culinary school and he has yet to show me what to do in the kitchen. So I'm just doing a quick rough chop of this spinach. I don't have a real chopping knife, but that's okay because we're not. It doesn't really matter like what this looks like. You're just kind of whipping this together in the kitchen. So imagine it's like a quick lunch or a weeknight dinner,
Love it.
whatever. Or maybe you're having friends over, you just want something that's quick and easy. This is a great way to do it. Now, if you want it to be fancy, you can make your white sauce from scratch. We are not, which is great.
make your dough from
You
scratch.
can make
I
your
bet.
dough from scratch. Another way that I like to make flatbreads sometimes is to just take like a low carb tortilla. So the best part is like any sort of carb base and then just throw the toppings on it. We've got some spinach, so this looks good to me. I think, how's that looking for you, Ross?
Almost there, not
We're
quite
almost
done.
there. It doesn't need to be super, super perfectly cooked. I mean, it does, but we're gonna put it in the oven for about 10 minutes as well, just to kind of meld everything together.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna grab our flatbread out of here. You can see the edges are starting to brown up a bit. And Ross, I'm gonna warn you, it's gonna be hot. So I'm moving to this side while you continue to do that. Yeah, looking great. So the best part about this too is we can actually broil it when we're done, just so that everything melts.
Nice.
So white sauce.
Okay.
You can make it from scratch, or just buy the jar, which is what we're doing. We're talking about an easy way to make it. So we've got here I can never pronounce it. It's a cacao pepe, which is basically like Parmesan and pepper and cheese. It's delicious. So I like to hit the bottom of the jar if it's a brand new one. Pop it open. There we go. It's looking great. Honestly, it does. I love sausage. So.
It smells like breakfast right now.
It really does. So I'm going to grab a spoon out of our drawer. And then while you're continuing to get that browning up, I'm going to spread the white sauce all over our pizza here. Then we've got some mozzarella cheese. We've got some spinach. I was telling Ross, I almost thought about bringing some caramelized onions and making those, which would have been a really fun thing to do, but it takes a while, so.
Takes a while, and last
Not fast enough for one single kitchen segment.
last night we didn't need to do all those dishes either.
It's true. Dishes are always the fun part of cooking. So I'm just spreading on this white sauce here. And you can put as much or as little as you want to.
There's gonna be a lot of sausage for that.
That's okay. We can just kind of sprinkle it on. We've got the white sauce going. It looks great. Then we've got some mozzarella. So we'll be putting that sausage on here in a second. Got some mozzarella cheese. I'm gonna do a little base layer sprinkle of mozzarella, and then we're gonna sprinkle on some of that sausage.
Oh, it's looking good now.
It looks great. You don't have to put a ton of cheese on the bottom because of the white sauce, But I like to kind of put a base layer because you can never have too much cheese, right?
No such thing as too much cheese.
Too much cheese. Does not exist in my world,
Nope.
I'll tell you that.
Nope.
All right, great. So we've got our spinach. So Ross, if you want to grab some of that spinach that's been roughly chopped. Yep, right there, looks great.
Cool.
And we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit on here. Yeah, you can just kind of layer it, spread it around. Looks great to me. Then we're gonna throw on the sausage, because this will melt a bit. So we'll just kind of break that up a little bit.
We're good to go with the sausage?
I think so. We'll just go ahead and do that. And just put a little bit on and sprinkle it as best you want to. If you want to be brave and use your fingers like I am.
Kim.
I know it's toasty, it's hot, it smells delicious. You can smell all the spices. That looks great to me. I'm telling you, Ross is going to be an expert in the kitchen soon. There we go. And then I think that looks good to me.
I think that looks great.
Yeah, and we'll add a little bit more. I've got some parsley and the garlic salt, the spices right there. You can add whatever other spices you want to. We can do like an Italian if you have that. But I just grabbed what's in my pantry, you know. We'll just do a little.
Some red pepper flakes.
Red pepper flakes are always a great topper. You can either do it before or after. I'm a red pepper flakes after it cooks kind of gal.
Yeah.
What about you? Right?
Whatever.
Whatever.
A little bit here, a little bit there.
A little bit more cheese on this pizza because who doesn't like cheese, as we've already established? Looks good to me. Boom. What do you think?
That looks pretty good.
It's going to be a good one. You know, sometimes breakfast here is pizza for breakfast.
I love the thin crust, right? It's
Oh,
just
so
so
good.
much more manageable.
So we're going to pop this in the oven. It's going to just kind of all meld together, and then your flatbread pizza will be ready to go. So I'm going to pop this in, and can't wait to try it.
Breakfast of champions.
All right, looking at the pizza, it is a fancy flatbread.
It looks awesome.
You know, it smells really great. You can smell the garlic from the sauce. You can smell a little bit of the pepper as well. And then the sausage. Who doesn't love the smell of sage and the taste of it? So I'm going to cut it. What do you think?
Cut it out. It
Are we
looks
trying
good.
it out?
Yeah, let's
We're
do
just
it.
going to go ahead and cut a little bit. Are you an end piece guy or are you in the middle?
The corners are the best.
The corners are the best. So we're going to just give it a quick little cut in the middle. Boom.
Boom.
And then here we go, Ross.
Love it.
You get to be the guinea pig and tell me what you think. He's
Oh,
like, oh gosh, the pressure
man.
is on. All right, well, I'll have a piece with you too.
Okay, let's do it. Which one are you going for here?
I'm going for here. I like the end, the crust. Well, cheers.
We cheers it?
We're cheersing. Let's take a taste of this pizza. Oh my goodness.
It is so good.
My mom taught me not to talk with my mouth full, but I can't
It's
help
okay.
it.
It's okay.
You can just taste all of the delicious Alfredo sauce and the sausage and the spinach. Cannot wait to finish this, but we had a great show. We'll see you next time.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake!
America was built on a love for the outdoors. We are a nation of sportsmen, blessed with magnificent natural resources. With broad interests across water and field, we are united in our devotion to nature and conservation. Join us every week for the best shows celebrating the outdoor lifestyle. Outdoor America. Live free.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Oh my gosh! If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunities for points on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point of this competition.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Hi, it's Max at TV8 Vail. We want to invite you all to the Wacky Winter Reading Program. It's open to all ages. All you have to do is read 10 books or 1,000 pages. For more information, go on our website, tv8vail.com. And thank you to our sponsor, the Eagle Valley Library District.
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Good morning, Vail.
It is certainly fun to be glitzy and filled with glam. We've got Glitz and Glam with Gretchen. She has a conversation with a plastic surgeon and their office and all that they offer.
Welcome to the Glitz and Glam with Gretchen. I'm your host, Gretchen Fleshaw. I'm here at Mingott Kopit Plastic Surgery with two amazing human beings and dear friends of mine. What are your names and what do you do?
Hey guys, I'm Liz. I'm the PA injector here at Mingott Kopit Plastic Surgery and Skincare, so I do all of the injections.
And I'm Mari, licensed esthetician, so I do a lot of the skincare, lasers, facials. I got you.
Well, I love this space so much, and obviously it's somewhere that I feel safe space and coming to, and I have seen both of you many times. I won't even, and I'm very open about this because my skin has gone from dull to bright and shiny and beautiful because of these two gorgeous women next to me. Let's start with you, Liz. Kind of give me a rundown of what it is you do, because I know you do all the things, and maybe tell us your favorite procedure and why.
Yeah, so basically kind of the bread and butter of what I do is injectables. So really anything with a needle, I'm your girl. Mostly things like neuromodulators. So Botox is kind of the common name everybody knows. I do a lot of fillers, and then I also do a lot of collagen stimulating therapies like Sculptra, microneedling, hyperdilute radius, things like that.
And Liz, I want to ask you about the latter half of that because I know Botox obviously we all love, and I do want to mention I do feel sometimes that people think Botox is something that's going to just freeze your face in an odd way.
Yeah.
Liz has done some Botox on me, and I have people asking me all the time, but you have movement. You obviously, when I talk a lot with facial expressions, and I want you, real quick to touch base and then talk more about the other stuff. But I want to say about Botox that it is something that you make look natural, and I wanted to know if you could touch base on that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I think everybody kind of has a different preference towards movement and how they like their face, but most people, especially here in Colorado, like to be kind of more on the natural side, and I definitely have kind of a preference towards that as well. So definitely we can cater to that, as far as the movement you want or don't want, we can make it look very, very natural, which I think is the best way to do any sort of injections anyways. I think you look better if you look more natural and have a little bit more movement. So.
And I do want to say Liz is really good at this. I have to give you a shout out because I remember I asked you, can I do this? Can I do this? And you were so honest with me. And it's not about honestly the money, it's about looking good, because you want a product of a human being to leave here looking beautiful and saying, come to Liz and Mingott Kopit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think, whatever we can do to make you feel more comfortable in your own skin is kind of what I want to do for you and
to make
for everybody.
You feel like your best version.
Exactly.
Of yourself.
Yeah.
Now, and Liz, the second half of that, what you were saying, I know a lot of people don't, like myself, I'm not well versed in this. Can you give us a little bit of a rundown?
Yeah. So collagen stimulating therapies is kind of a broad umbrella term for anything that's going to help you, regenerate your body's own collagen. So Mari does a lot on that as well. There's different things as far as lasers and skincare, but also injectables that you can do.
Okay.
So kind of my favorite approach is doing a little bit of everything. So a little bit of, preventative Botox, a little bit of collagen stimulating therapies like Sculptra, Hyperdilute Radius. Those are just different brands of things, that we can inject underneath the skin to help you make your own collagen. A little bit of skincare, and then supplement with a little bit of filler as needed.
And collagen, because when you get older, it starts to get less and less. So that's okay.
Yep, exactly.
Awesome.
Yep. So as we age, we lose our collagen. It gives your skin kind of that dull look, versus that
Not
youthful.
fair.
I know, right?
Not fair.
Yeah. It contributes to sagging, that dull, tired skin. So if we can just recreate your collagen and get that youthful glow, that youthful snapback, that'll just help you kind of look glowy overall.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now to you, Mari. Mari, you're awesome, and you have done a lot on my face as well. Can we talk about the first thing that we did together?
Yeah, so we did something that's sort of new. It's called PRXT33, and it's really this revolutionary treatment. It's got all the benefits of a chemical peel without the actual peeling, and I love it because there's absolutely no downtime, which is great for,
I have to stop you. We're sorry. This was so cute because Mari, when I came in, and that was my biggest thing. I was like, girl, I can't be red. And I love that you were honest, because so many people, working, getting out there, you think doing this that you're going to be out for days. So I had to say thank you for being honest about that too.
Yes, no, we love that treatment. Your skin will feel so glowy. It will look so glowy and feel so soft. I think we also treated, like I've treated my neck with it and chest, and everything just feels so nice and soft, and it does help stimulate collagen production as well.
And I have to say, I could see a huge difference. I remember I kept on sending you, poor woman, selfies, and I'm like, look, on TV, my skin is glowing every day. People are coming up, and I think in this environment in Vail where it is so dry, and I have really dry skin already, and it gets flaky, that really, really helped it.
Well, here too, where we live, everyone wants to be outside. We're all here for a reason. So when you tell someone you're going to have to stay out of the sun for a week, no one receives that well. Yeah, it doesn't fly. So this is one of those treatments where you can get all the benefits, brightening, your skin looks glowy. We can lighten up some of those sunspots without downtime.
And Mari, what else do you do? Because I know you do so many different things, and the words, the vocabulary, it's a lot.
So I do a lot of the skincare. We can customize a skin regimen for you, consults I really love to do, but I do a lot of laser work, facials, really just preventative and corrective. So if you want to talk about fine lines, wrinkles, acne, melasma.
And the skin pigmentation, I know for me, big sun lover over here, you helped lighten a lot of that for me as well. So that's, because what is it called, the zapping tool you can use?
The IPL? Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, the IPL, so that's a big one, or people know it as the photofacial, so big treatment around here.
What is your favorite thing to do?
It just depends.
It's a loaded question.
Yeah, there's just so many things. We have all these tools in the toolbox, and it just depends on the individual and what we're doing for them. I love things that work.
Like instant gratification.
Well, and sometimes it's not instant, but we know that we're going to see something down the road.
That's so neat. So, girls, ladies, how long have you been here? Because you're both pretty new to the Valley, right?
Yeah. So I actually moved up from Denver last summer.
Awesome.
And was super excited to come up to the mountains, and this job opportunity presented itself, and loved doing injections and everything what I did in Denver, but it wasn't the mountains, so super excited to be up here and be in Vail.
That's so awesome. So you're a newbie to Vail, which is great.
Yeah.
And what about you, Mari?
Well, I grew up in Leadville. I still live in Leadville, but I'm new to the practice. I started here in August.
It's awesome. Well, and I think it's so neat, and not to call you guys out, but youthful, good energy. You guys have kind of put a finger on all the new upcoming things.
Yeah.
So it's neat because I know the three of us will text each other Instagram, but you guys are very abreast of all the new things that are happening, and that's something that in this Valley we want to look young and fresh and look youthful, but not look I hate to use this word, but it's true, plastic.
Yeah,
You just want to
absolutely.
feel and look good. So I think you both have brought a new kind of vibe. What do you say? Like a new fresh breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Well, and I think one of the things that's cool too is like with Mari and I kind of starting at the same time, like
Yeah.
we've become really close. And I think
Yes.
Mari and I like work really, really well together as a team, which is something that's maybe a little bit unique. Like
Yeah.
we're not separate by any means. We like throw, you know, our clients back and forth to each other
So
because
cool.
really the best thing you can do for somebody is to do more like a holistic approach. So I think that's been really cool that we like got to do that together.
And I wanted to ask you about that because it seems like you're more in the injectables, you're more in the skincare. So that's really cool. Have you spoken like, well, obviously you both have seen me. So it's like you can say, hey, I did Gretchen's injectables.
Yeah.
I've noticed her face is a little dry, and then moved to Mari, and Mari, that's so
we
you bounce off of each
always go back and forth, and if we're
Wow.
doing a consult and if the other one's free, we
Oh.
try to invite each other into the consult.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
It's a
so-
twofer.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. Well, because it's true. Like the best outcomes for people are when you do, you know, like I said earlier, a little bit of everything. So I think,
Yeah.
you know, to be able to provide that to people is just super cool. And like like I said, we're a good team.
Well, and I have to assume that you guys feel really good because you make people feel beautiful. And yes, it's from the inside out. But a lot of times, let's be honest, if you feel good on the outside, it helps with your inside. Have you seen that firsthand?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, even just firsthand in myself and in like my clients, like if you are just more comfortable and confident in the way you look and feel, like you can like exude and project your best energy into the world. And I think that's huge for people. So
Absolutely. Oh yeah, from a wide range of different things, you know, because we all have something that we look at in the mirror that that can bother us. Like people come in here with melasma, with acne, and all of those things can be super, you know, they just get in the way of every day.
Feeling confident.
Feeling confident.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you
absolutely.
guys so much.
Yeah.
How can people find out more about Mangate Kopit plastic surgery? And both of you, do you guys, what is the easiest way? Do we go on the website, Instagram? What do you guys like to do?
No, good question. I mean, we definitely have a practice Instagram that you can follow. We
Cool.
also have a practice website. Obviously, you can kind of read more about all our services on there. And then Mari and I each have our own Instagram, so you can find me at Injector Liz Stone.
I love it.
You can find me at, my handle is The Skin Wiz, but it's SKN for skin. And also, please feel free to book a consult. You know, you can always just come in here and we can go over, you know, just different services that might be good for you.
And I should say we are located, well, you guys, I'm part of this tribe
You're in,
now.
you're in.
I'm in. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Stay.
Located,
Stay with
thank you. Located in Avon, and you guys are right above Agave, or next door.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. Yeah.
Really
Building.
cool. Thank you guys. Well, thank you both for being so awesome and helping me feel beautiful from the inside out. And we will catch you next time for the more of the Glitz and Glam with Gretchen.
Good morning, Vail.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back, America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big Worlds. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
Hello, everyone. I'm
Raisa Pascal.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. Welcome to Life, Love, Shopping. Have any personal stories you can share?
Do I? Yes, I do.
So even though you work for some good deals, too good to miss on Flash Deals now. Check this out.
Studies show spending time outdoors can help with depression, lowering blood pressure, and overall health and happiness.
Good morning, Vail.
Our valley is rich with all kinds of snow sports history, and we love the Colorado Snow Sports Museum that covers not only the history here in the valley, but all of Colorado and beyond. Let's take a look at the conversation that we had with them.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. I am very, very thrilled about this. I have a dear friend and photographer extraordinaire, Milo Gladstein. How are you doing, Milo?
I'm doing good. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, it's so good to see you. See you in, well, I almost said in real life, but see you over the video, you know.
I know, we only get to see each other once or twice a year, but it's so good to be here, and thanks for having me.
Of course. So Milo, just so we can let everyone know, Milo and I met years ago. Was it X Games or Dew Tour?
I think it was Dew Tour at first, and then X Games Dew Tour every year after that.
Yeah. And Milo, I know you are very humble, but you are an amazing, phenomenal photographer. How did you get started? I don't even know. This is great for me to find out as a friend as well. How did you get started taking pictures? Because you are insanely talented.
Yeah, I mean, I've pretty much always had a camera in my hand. I got started in kind of the street photography vein and moved into other things like outdoor sports and things like that, adventure sports, whitewater rafting. I've been a climber for 10 years, almost. So kind of always been taking out the camera, climbing and stuff. And I'm still a student at Colorado State University and found my way into a media and society class. And they told me about the student newspaper, the Rocky Mountain Collegian. And the newsroom is in the basement of the student center. And I kind of always joke that I walked into the basement and I never walked out. And here I am all these years later. So
that is brilliant. And you're actually the photo director, right, of the Collegian magazine.
Yeah, so this year I'm co-photo director with my good friend Garrett Mogul. We both took over, so we're running the whole visual side of the paper, which has been an absolute blast, and we have such an incredible staff, and it's been really great to really try to curate the best news possible for the Fort Collins community.
Well, I have to tell you, one of my favorite things, truly, and I'm not just saying this because we're friends, of the X Games, of Dew Tour, of all these events that we're so blessed to get to go and hang out together, is seeing your photos behind the scenes at the media tent, because they are insanely amazing. Oh, there we go. There's one of my favorites. Do you want to talk a little bit about the photo?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of for me, being able to go to Dew Tour and X Games is kind of a dream come true. I've always loved snowboarding and obsessed over every snowboarding movie as a kid.
Yeah.
And specifically, I mean, this image of Zeb Powell is probably one of my favorites that I've taken. And the first year I applied for Dew Tour, I had no intention of getting it as, you know, a kid on student media, and I got the credential and went and just had the best time ever, surrounded by all these incredible athletes who are also incredible people. I never thought I'd meet, that I just always saw through the computer screen on movies and stuff. And so this image in particular was at X Games this past year, of Zeb on top of right before he dropped in for the Knuckle Huck event. And that was fantastic.
And I have to say about Zed, because you know I got to interview him and I adore him, this is a soft side of him that we're seeing in this photo. You captured a moment, because he is a teddy bear, and not everyone knows that. That captures his energy, his beauty. He is just a love. I adore him.
Yeah, he is fantastic. This was the image I wanted to walk away with, and happened to have the opportunity on top of the Knuckle Huck, and everything kind of just came together in the middle of a snowstorm. And yeah, it was incredible.
All right. I want you to walk us through your photos. Is that cool? And kind of tell us about each one.
Yeah,
Put you on the
absolutely.
spot here. All right, let's do it.
Cool. This one was super fun. This was also from X Games. Kind of got a lot of the standard shots, as we call them. We go out and get the safe shots first. We
Right.
know which images need to be published and things like that. And then we kind of go for the more fun stuff. So these were really fun because I laid on the snow with my head against the big air jump kicker, and basically just had to wait and time it based on what all the other photographers were doing. So you could kind of, almost like Formula One, you could see everybody's head snap up and kind of just trying to get it right at that right moment of just the skier framed against the sky, which is incredible.
I dig it. That is so awesome. I love it. Oh, I like this too.
Yeah, this was really fun. This was at night on the Super Pipe. And this was one of the images I've been trying to get for a long time, trying to position myself to frame the riders right in between the two lights with the X Games logo against the black sky. It was one of those like perfect nights that was just clear, I mean, as can be, and was just trying to capture that just raw, super clean, huge method, and was really stoked to be able to capture that.
Are those stars that you can see as well in the background?
I'm not sure.
That's dope. Oh, it's so cool. Milo, I dig it. That's awesome. Right on. I mean, I don't seem shocked because I know you and I get to see these all the time, but these are brilliant. Absolutely. Oh, Burton, we need to send that to our buddies over at Burton. That's dope. I love that.
Yeah, again, this was really fun. I think this one was at Dew Tour, or maybe X Games. I can't remember actually. But this one was really fun. Just had a really wide angle lens and kind of was actually, a lot of these happened to be as I was moving position and the rider happened to kind of pop up over the edge right in front of me.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is also one of my favorites. Just, you can feel the size of the pipe and how high the rider is in the air. I mean, I love this photo.
Well, and I should add too, a lot of people don't understand, but Milo, like, you get a perspective, and we do as media, to see it in a different way, to see these events, and it's pretty special because the human, everyone else that's going as a spectator really doesn't get to see these kind of moments. I mean, they see them, but in a different way, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really special to kind of be on the pipe, be on the knuckle as these athletes are doing their thing, which is just incredible to watch. And you get a whole other side of things that you would never see otherwise. And it's cool to kind of feel like you're almost part of the action in that sense.
100%. And as we look at some more of your photo, okay, I'm going to totally be quiet because I know you were so stoked about this particular photo. You ran back to the media tent and tell us all about this.
Yeah, so this was actually kind of a coincidence. I think the day before this was at Dew Tour this past year. This is Sylvia. She rides for the German team and has been just an incredible athlete for them for many, many years. And she walked up to me during one of the open practices as I was taking photos and stuff, and was like, "Hey, can you take some photos for me?" And I said, "Sure." And ended up shooting for her for most of Dew Tour this year, which was great. But it was funny because this was another one of kind of just happened to be walking by each other at that time that she snapped her board. And she's like, "Oh, can we do a photo?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have a great idea. Let's go over to the side." And I really wanted to capture her with the broken board and wanted to focus on the broken board, but kind of just with her eyes peeking out and kind of really personality in that.
I love it. I remember when you showed me that and I was like, okay, I have another job for you. You're going to be the new photographer for all the modeling as well, because product placement, man, you're really good at that. I'm impressed.
Well, thank you.
Of course. Oh, what is this one? I dig it.
This one was really fun. This was this kind of goes along the vein of getting safe shots first and then moving into more fun stuff afterwards. This was at round, I believe it was 16 of the Arena Cross Championship in Loveland, Colorado.
Right on.
And this was an assignment I had kind of found for the paper and was like, hey, this is cool. We've never really covered anything in this vein. So went to go cover this, and this was really fun to play with some motion blur shots. And this one came out really, really good. And it took probably a good hour to try to figure out
how I
wanted this to be, and that the guys flying through the air in the back. really adds to that. So.
Well, and
yeah,
I want
really
to say too, I know that a lot of people just think, oh, photography, you point your camera. There's so much you've taught me. I've watched you the past couple of years. There's so much more that goes into it, and it's a true form of artwork. I mean, really, you have to have the eye, you have to know the equipment, you have to know the movement, all of it. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. A lot of the time we end up like my buddy Garrett and I's joke is we always end up like sprawled out like on the ground, like underneath things of like about to get run over all the time. I mean, I've been run over by many different things many times. It's just a blast.
I remember at Dew Tour, you guys, because we love hanging out, and I was with you guys, and I forget what you were shooting, but someone was like, what are they doing? You were like on your knees, on your back, and I'm like, those are my homies. They're good. They're doing their thing. Let them be.
Yeah, that sounds about right. We're always kind of in weird positions.
Yeah, but you get the best product, so it works. And that last picture, was that the agricultural food waste story?
Yeah, it was. So this was a really good example of taking a local story and kind of a one-off story and making it, you kind of stumble into things as a journalist that you wouldn't really know about otherwise. So this woman in the photo is Jennifer Seywald, and she owns a local hard cider bar here in Fort Collins.
Right on.
And we just did a quick, we were doing a beer themed edition of the paper, and we did a quick thing about cider for cider versus beer kind of a thing. And in talking to her, she told me all about how she got a grant from the USDA to build a mobile juicing trailer that she now takes all over the state of Colorado and juices what are known as seconds. So this is fruit that would never make it to market if it weren't for Jennifer was doing. It would be thrown in the trash. And so she supports local agriculture through juicing all this fruit that wouldn't make it to market. And she takes that juice and gives it to local distilleries, things like that, and then brings the rest of it back up to Fort Collins, where she distills it into hard cider and then sells it through her company. And she contributes over $1 million back into the Colorado agriculture system every year, single-handedly, basically keeping all of these local farmers in business.
That is amazing. That is so beautiful. And I love that you captured her spirit and her energy in that picture. What a beautiful smile. And you can tell she really loves what she's doing. That's pretty special.
Oh, yeah. She always has a smile on her face. I mean, as
oh, wow. Look at that. Wow. Milo, that's dope.
She's incredible. She's a fantastic woman, and built this company from the ground up all on her own, basically. Started just here in Fort Collins and then expanded to going to farms all over the state, and I'm sure she intends to expand that throughout the country as well if possible.
How cool. That is so beautiful. I love that. And then I think we have maybe at the end a rodeo picture. Oh, no, I was wrong. We don't. We have another one. No, it's all good. What is this? Well, I know what it is, but who is this?
So this is the bass player for the Psychedelic Porn Crumpets band.
Right
they are
on.
An awesome psychedelic rock band out of Australia. They came here to Fort Collins, I think 2 weeks ago now, or a week ago. They just blew the doors off the place. I mean, they sold out our local theater on a Tuesday night, which was awesome.
That's awesome. I love that. I love it. Oh, wow. That's a cool shot.
This is another one from them. They're incredible. It was a blast. I do quite a bit of concert photography around here, shoot for a lot of the local bands, and it's really fun and kind of one of the places I get to be most artistic just because of light and things like that.
And that's perfect, Milo. This is a good transition because I was going to say the difference between your photography when you're doing shows, like going and seeing music versus outdoor nature, is it night and day, right? I'm only assuming.
Yeah, it's a very different thing. I think now that I've settled into shooting concerts, it's become a lot calmer and more of like a familiar kind of almost brain scrub, but also the place that I get to be most artistic.
Cool.
Again, because of all the lights and colors and everything happening, it just is fantastic to be able to just have complete artistic freedom, which is amazing.
I love that. I love that so much. I am so inspired by all of these pictures. And what are you working at present day? Oh, here we go. That's the one.
Yeah, so this is, I threw this image in here to show because this, again, kind of similar to the Peach story. I currently am working on a rodeo story that was born out of a story that was done. I didn't write the original story that this photo was taken for. I did the photos for the story, and it was done about the CSU rodeo team.
Oh, right
and I grew up about as far away from the sport of rodeo as you possibly can. This was the first interaction I had ever had with anybody in the sport of rodeo, and I took this photo. I actually have it printed and hanging on my wall.
I love it.
But I realized a couple months later that I just couldn't stop thinking about it, and there was more to be done in this world, in the world of Western life and rodeo. And so reached out to one of the contacts I had through taking photos for this story, and ended up being launched into a whole world for the last, I believe it's been 9 months now.
Oh, wow.
And hoping to finish the story up in January for it to run at the National Western Stock Show.
Cool.
And basically following the theme of what does it mean to be a true cowboy.
Nice.
So really, really excited to be kind of wrapping that up in the next couple months.
Milo, you're amazing. How cool. Thank you for taking us through your photo journey, literally all the things. So I know you're working on that, and I wish we had some more time, but what are you the most stoked coming up to do?
I think right now just trying to finish school, graduate, figure out my next steps. Obviously, finishing the rodeo project is my main focus right now. I'm really, really excited for that. And I've kind of branched out more for that. I'm doing photos, writing, and a documentary as well. So
awesome.
I think that's what I'm most excited about at the moment.
Well, Milo Gladstein, we adore you here on Good Morning Vail. Thank you so much for your time, and I can't wait to see you soon due to our next games right around the corner.
Absolutely. Thank you again for having me, Gretchen. Always great talking to you.
So good seeing you, and we will talk to you again soon. And keep it right
Awesome.
here. We have more Good Morning Vail to come.
Good morning, Vail. Good morning, Vail.
Think Big features top kid inventors who face off against each other to see who can come up with the most innovative and creative invention. In Think Big, kids acquire and showcase their skills in creativity, science, marketing, design, and don't forget, teamwork. Check your local listings and watch the world's most innovative kids. They create and invent new toys, games, websites, and new modes of transportation. Tune in to Think Big.
Stevie Lee Woods presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found Jesus, where I wrecked my first car, I tore it all to pieces.
Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hi there! Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
Daily Flash Latino. Designed for the American Latino audience, Daily Flash Latino hosts Jessica Reyes and Fabian Marcano deliver their fresh perspective on the latest entertainment news, celebrity gossip, fashion, health, and more in both English and Spanish, aka Spanglish. Daily Flash Latino builds, connects, and celebrates the diverse Hispanic audience. Daily Flash Latino, trending news and entertainment with a splash of Spanglish.
Good morning, Vail.
One of my favorite things about hosting this show is that we get to support local community. That includes artists, photographers, glass blowers, and libraries, and more. Thanks for joining GMV Express. I'm Kimberly Perot, and I'll see you next time.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Are you looking for exciting and nutritious recipes to cook at home? Watch Colorful Cooking with Tracy Miller on TV8 Vail. Tracy brings you the best in fresh and healthy foods for the active outdoor lifestyle. Stream online at tv8vail.com or find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on 92.
Tune into Coffee with America and start your day in the right direction, where we go over the latest and greatest in health, lifestyle, entertainment, and more. Start your day off on Coffee with America.
This show spotlights the latest innovations to create a greener planet. Join us next time as we explore new green ideas and present interesting green stories, and show you how some people are becoming real green.
Happy Friday afternoon, everybody. This is the Chat Box Vail, your live podcast on YouTube, and we are also streaming on all of the other platforms that you can get online. This is our beautiful studio today, and we are happy in the TV8 studios. And you may recognize my special guest. Dana, what's going on? I want to say hi to you really fast.
Oh, it's so good to be here. Thank you for having me. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, I have you here for a reason, for all the mental health purposes that we could possibly think of. But you might recognize her from Good Morning Vail. She was with Kevin just the other day on TV8. And that's a beautiful thing because we get to spread your energy and your light in two different mediums, but all right here in the same beautiful place. So
yes,
I love it.
I love it too.
How's life going though so far?
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just living the dream, and anytime that I get to come and talk about my passion, my purpose is such a gift. So thank you for this opportunity.
Wouldn't it be nice for all of our passions to actually be a purpose at the same time? Some of my passions have just gotten me in trouble, you know what I mean? So I love passion with a purpose.
Yeah.
That actually should be your motto. I kind of really like that.
Yeah.
And this is episode 15. So
awesome.
We're getting into the good stuff here. We've been trying to bring people that make a difference in our community, special locals that do things for others that might not work for some, but then there's so many different ways to give ourselves a great mental health treatment or a mental health kick in the booty. Now, the one thing that I've always believed in is energy. I'm sort of empathic, but I would never call myself an empath. But I am empathic, and I can feel the energy off people like massively.
Yeah.
And the reason why I bring that up is because that's what you work with. Now, I know our bodies are made up mostly of cells and fiber and all that other stuff until you get to the bones. I don't understand the bones unless they're massive cells and deeper, because you can't go through us even though we're all cells. But that is all human energy, correct?
Yes, everything is energy, and this is like science. If you ask any quantum physicist, they will
I
tell
know
you
all of them.
that everything is energy, and the way that energy comes together in us and our bodies, it comes together as physical matter. So you can see our bodies, we can touch them, we can feel them. And there is so much energy that is all around us that we can't see with the human eye. So our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, we can feel them, right? But we can't see them. So everything is energy, and at the same time, everything is connected.
It's crazy. Why are there certain people like me, like I can literally be sitting next to somebody and feel what's going on. I might not know what's going on, but I can feel they're either angsty or like miserable. or sad or ready to rip someone's face. I don't know. I can always feel the angsty energy more than happy energy is always a given, but I can feel when somebody needs something.
Yeah, and I would say, you know, going back to what you said at the beginning, you said, I'm not a full-blown empath. I would say just by you saying that, sharing that with me, I would say, yes, you are an empathic person. And it's funny that you found me and I'm on this show because that is the people that tend to get drawn to energy healing work that are attracted to it tend to be empathic people or empaths, people that are sensitive to energy.
I got the left side goosebumps. Only on this
side. Those are what I call the divine tingles. We can talk about
I have divine tingles, everybody. I thought that meant something totally different. No, really?
Yeah, so when you're, it's so funny because I was just talking about this with someone. When you're having a conversation with someone or an experience with someone and you get the chills or you get the, I call them the divine tingles.
I love that.
Some people describe them as goosebumps.
Yeah.
What that really means is that we are connecting on a deeper level. We're connecting beyond the physical level. I like to talk a lot about the soul and spirit. So what I just said activated something within your soul.
Oh, you're activating all of them. Like, good thing for a padded bra right now, okay? I'm not kidding. I'm tingling. I have all those beautiful tingles. I love it. And I'm not manifesting them. I think you're giving them to me.
Yeah.
Usually each week when we do sit here doing the chat box, I experience those tingles because there's somebody that's saying something profound and there's somebody that has a story to say that, you know, help them get through something in life. We all deal with so much, and it looks like we're about to deal with a whole lot more. It just seems like things just are getting, I mean, we had an earthquake in New Jersey. If the world's not going bananas, I don't know what's happening. So we are all needing to prepare for a little bit more anxiety, whether it's because of politics, whether it's because of the nature of our being, whether it's because of money matters or some loss or dealing with like somebody who's betrayed you or dealing with depression and anxiety. I call depression and anxiety the givens because it seems like a lot of, and it's probably because it has come to the surface and people don't stigmatize it anymore, so people are allowed to talk about it. So that's why I find it to be more prevalent in a lot of people. I mean, I've been living with, I touched my microphone. I've been living with that, both of those, my entire life. My life started off with anxiety and it kept on going. So I can relate so hard to people that deal with anxiety or depressive episodes. I always manage to pull myself out because I'm one of those weird people that when I feel myself going down dark, I have to sit for a few days and work it out, but I always know I can get back out. There's people that can't get themselves back out. There's people that can't find a medium or an avenue or like a community of people to help them deal with what they're going through. So with you being here and the energy work that you do, the first question I have for you is, why do you feel that what your purpose in life is helps people? Why do you feel like it does something good for people's mental space?
So knowing that everything is energy and everything is connected, there's so many modalities out there right now. There's so many ways in which people can receive treatment for whatever ails them, if it's a physical condition, a mental condition, an emotional condition. For me, in my own life, I have found that when I have experienced really deep, profound healing, it is when I take myself to those deeper levels and connect with myself on an energetic level.
Now, how do you do that for somebody that's looking, going, yeah, well, I don't go deep?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I would say when we have these issues that we can't seem to resolve, that traditional Western medicine or even traditional psychotherapy, you know, you can't move through it. You're find yourself in the same situations over and over again. You find yourself experiencing similar things. You can't get over the hump. Then it's because you're hanging out on that surface level.
Is that also the same as not being able to let something go or being upset with something and you just can't let those feelings go?
Yeah, it can be true. Okay. Yeah, because when we keep having the same emotions that come up, the same triggers, the same feelings, and we're not willing to go within and do some self-exploration around it, then to be honest, we're never going to resolve it.
Gotcha.
And actually, things are just going to perpetuate themselves and get worse.
That's what happens with many, because if you don't have the tools, then you kind of just keep riding what you're feeling, and you don't. you know, you don't break free.
Yeah, and then it becomes your normal, and you don't realize how good things can be, how healing really feels, or how being in balance really feels, because you're used to being your normal is being out of balance all the time. And so when we actually,
oh my God, it's crazy that you touched on that, because I've been through a lot in my life, a lot. That's why I do this podcast. I want to bring healing to people instead of having them struggle all the time. I have to say, what you said is crazy, because it's true. It really is. I mean, you can keep riding it, or, you know, you got to figure out a way to get through it. And sometimes
and usually what I tell people, when you're in a place in your life where you feel stuck, or again, you still are repeating the same patterns and relationships over and over again, the same situations keep presenting themselves to you, it's your soul and the universe's way of being like, wake up, it's time to tune in, it's time to heal. And a lot of people, they don't want to go to those deeper levels because they're afraid of feeling the pain or the emotion or the hurt, when really
they're already feeling it.
You're already feeling it. You're living it, and by not allowing yourself to feel it, you're just holding on to it. So it's just going to keep coming up in certain ways and presenting itself in ways that are detrimental to you in your life. So when you take the time and the space to go inward and feel it and move through it, then you can release it and let it go, and then you have this like sweet relief.
Yes, you touched on something about feeling comfortable in a certain space. Because I went through a lot, and then when things were good, when I met like the right kind of human being that I wanted as my significant other, I would I would do what I could to sabotage, because it felt like I was uncomfortable being happy and normal and somebody caring about just me and not using all this stuff. And so it felt good. It scared me. It's kind of like, you know, the person that's always used to looking for nickels in the couch. You hit the lotto, you're still looking for those nickels because it's comfortable to be looking for the nickels. It's just that excitement. It's the same type of thing. And I think many people do that. You stay, it's, what, is it a complacency even though it's not happy?
I think what you said is it's comfortable, and that's what you're used to. So for me, for example, when I was younger, I was in a family situation where I was very emotional, very sensitive, and no one really talked about emotions back then, or no one knew how to talk to me about them or help me work through them. And so I was in this situation in my family life where I was just with parents that were very emotionally unavailable, and there's nothing, you know, you can't change that. I can't change that. I love my parents so much, but that's probably, you know, what their experience was.
And
as
I'm
well.
Generations ahead of you, so imagine.
Just imagine.
Stuff it and stuff it down, move on, stuff it.
And so our relationships are always reflecting back to us what we need. So we have this tendency to seek out on an unconscious level. We're not purposely being like, I want a guy who's emotionally unavailable, right? We end up in these relationships, and that's what happened to me in my earlier years, is I kept finding myself in these relationships with men who were emotionally unavailable. And then I was like, why won't you love me? And finally, I ultimately got to this point where I realized in my healing journey,
you got lucky they didn't love
you. It was rejection is divine protection. And at the same time,
there we go again.
And at the same time, I really needed to learn to love myself.
Yeah, that's so big.
So being emotionally available to yourself.
That's the
biggest
struggle.
That's the biggest struggle. And then once you start to feel more comfortable and explore that on your own, then you're going to attract the partner that's going to be able to help you balance.
And that's energy.
And that's energy too.
Because you are putting off a new feeling of yourself. You've become empowered, and you realize, I don't want to be with all these unsavory. That's a good word for it. Unsavories.
I like
TV. But until you realize that you deserve better, you'll keep putting the energy out for all the unsavories. And when you realize that you deserve somebody really special, somebody that's going to love you for all of your stuff. You know, and then you think it's not going to happen, so you just get on your own. And then when they show up, you're like, whoa, there they are.
There they are.
And then the sad part is, even though you think you deserve it and you put all this energy into getting that person, there they are. And like for me and probably many others, what do? We try and mess it up because it's too good. It's too good.
Self-sabotage, yeah.
Yeah, what is that? That's crazy. You would think that we would feel that we're doing it, and I think we probably do.
Yeah.
But I know there's so many people out there that are struggling with, I'm just one human, and there's so many people that go through so many different levels of emotional and mental distress or healing, and there's so many things. So what can we tell people? How can they step out of their comfort zone to get some energetic healing?
Yeah. So I always say the first step is awareness. That's what I always tell my clients, and that's what I've noticed in myself. Once you realize and come into this awareness and understanding, like, wow, I keep having these same patterns in my life, or wow, I'm feeling really like heavy and life feels really dark right now. What can I do to heal that? So the first step is you have to like wake up to it. You have to become conscious of it. And this work isn't for everyone. I do want to say that. Like sometimes people want to have a life where they're just, going through everything, being unconscious, and that's okay.
Well, yeah, there's different levels of different help for everybody. And that's why I like to bring on different people in our community. And I was drawn to what you do.
Thank you.
Yes.
And so I would say becoming conscious of what keeps showing up in my life, and then also stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's necessary in order to, we can't change and evolve our lives if we keep doing the same thing over and over again. So there has to be a willingness to try something different.
Absolutely.
To give to yourself and allow yourself to receive. I see that so much, especially with empathic people, is we are so used to giving and giving and giving and giving, and so when it comes time to give to ourselves, or receive, even receiving from others, we're like, we push it away. Even like when you said, when the man comes into your life that wants to love you, and you're like, ew, because we're so like closed off from receiving, because we have I see this a lot with empaths, that a lot of our life we have tried to find love by doing for others, thinking that if we do everything and help everyone else, that somehow people will get back to us.
Right,
and it doesn't always work that way.
No.
And so we end up getting really frustrated and depleted. And
then wondering why.
And having a lot of anxiety and depression, and wondering why isn't anyone, and we get resentful.
Sure.
We get resentful.
And then sometimes you give way more than you receive, and then you're like wondering, why am I doing all this for somebody that probably is just taking me for granted anyway.
So it takes an awareness, and it takes stepping outside of your comfort zone, and I'd say those are the 3 steps. Stepping outside of your comfort zone.
Comfort zone is the hardest thing for people, but once you do that, because I've done it more lately in my older years than I ever did when I was younger. Because I think when I was younger, it was always out of your comfort zone. You just didn't know what you were stepping into. But now that we know where we stand in life, and if we can pull off doing something a little bit above and beyond. Now let me ask you this. What exactly is energy healing, and how do we go about obtaining something like that? Like, what does your practice do? What do you do for energy healing? How does that work?
Yeah, so in my practice, I combine the modalities of Reiki, the Akashic Records, and ancient shamanic healing practices.
Bless you. Sorry, what?
So
I know what Reiki is.
Reiki is a form of Japanese energy healing, and that's just a simple placement of the hands on the body. And when we talked about before, everything is energy. There's so much energy around us that we cannot see. Reiki translates to mean life force energy. So in Reiki, I'm channeling this life force energy that's all around us through my body and through my hands into your body. And so it's this all-knowing, intelligent energy. It knows what you need.
Wow.
So it's co-creating with you an experience so that you can balance out your energy and receive what you need. The Akashic Records is a way, it's similar, but it's through like spoken word. Reiki is like more of a hands-on thing. The Akashic Records is I'm channeling intuitive guidance and support from your spirit guides to help give you direction in your life, or help you move through the things that might still need to be healed.
And these are for people like that are stuck or lost or confused.
Yeah, people that have lots of questions. If people want to like just receive and have a very relaxing experience.
The Reiki.
The intuitive information is kind of always coming through me now because I've been doing this work for a long time.
Really?
So If you want to lay back and receive and relax, then the hands-on Reiki is great for that. The Akashic Records is great if you have a lot of questions. If you're feeling really lost and stuck, then that can just give you some answers and give you some guidance. And then shamanism is an ancient practice that's been all over the world for thousands and thousands of years, and it really works with the life elements, earth, water, fire, air, and space.
Ooh,
and it
all
is
good
really
things.
connected to the earth, and there's just these ancient energy healing practices that I have learned to offer to people. So things like shamanic journeying and energetic cord removal, that would be like a whole nother episode we could
Energetic
talk
cord
about
removal.
that.
Don't say that to anybody who's pregnant right now.
yeah. Well, moms and babies have energetic cords, and it's a good
Oh,
cord.
really? So it's a good thing?
It's a good cord.
Oh, okay. Is
Is
it like cutting the cord, like get space from the mom and the baby or something?
Yeah,
like that?
so
The
an
child?
example of there's good cords and there's bad cords. So a mom and a baby is a good cord
Yeah, I
because
would
they
hope
need
so.
each other. A bad cord would be like, let's say, I don't want to say bad, but a cord that there might be
A little
room for
negativity.
a little negative, let's just say, that like a mom has a kid and they're going off to become an adult and like move out of the house, and like, let's say the parent or whatever just like can't get over it, and they can't let go.
And that's
That
why they
would
always
be-
say, cut the cord,
Yeah.
let them go.
There's so many things that we say as humans that are so intuitive and
Yeah.
so like.
And it's so vile when you think about it.
Yeah.
It's like, God, okay.
Yeah.
But yours is so much prettier.
Yeah,
It's such
yeah.
a
So there's
nicer way.
There's so much that we cannot see, and there's so much going on in our energetic system, and sometimes we kind of carry around these cords or these energetic residues from old emotions or past relationships. And we can't, like, for example, sometimes when we can't get over a relationship, when we feel like stuck and we can't move past being with a certain person in a relationship, that might mean that there is some energetic baggage that you're carrying around in your system from that person. So in energy healing, we can move through a process where we help to remove that energy from your system.
Wow.
And then the person can feel a lot of relief from that experience. So energy healing is essentially, I call it energetic hygiene. So you're like releasing the energies that don't serve you.
Mhm.
You're filling yourself back up
Oh, I
with
love
life force
that.
energy to restore.
Right.
So we need energy. Energy like fuels our heartbeat.
Sure.
We can heal our energy through like simple breath work. We can heal our energy through hiking out and being outside in nature, or through taking a shower and just like letting the water cleanse your body and your system. And then there's more in-depth levels of energy healing. So when you come to work with like me,
Somebody like you.
with an energy healer, yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Did you study this? Do you feel like you have a special gift? Do you feel like both or one or more or the other?
Yeah, so I've been a nurse for over 20 years. That's how I started.
Altruism.
Yeah, and I always think I've been very sensitive since a very young age. I thought I was very sensitive to energy. And then when I was always drawn to these holistic modalities, and I definitely saw room for improvement in Western medicine when I was practicing as a nurse and working at the bedside. The focus is so intensely on the physical body, but we are so much more than that. And so I started exploring these holistic modalities, and I found Reiki, and when I started practicing Reiki and learning it, I started to have like visions. I would see colors, I would see images that pertain to that person.
And there were no mushrooms involved.
Nope, nope. And I was like, I didn't trust it, and I'm like, oh, my mind is just making this up. And I really felt like I needed more support and more guidance. And so I continued on like finding teachers and working with teachers, but I really wanted to have someone who was more of like a mentor that could help me understand and help explain like what I was experiencing.
Good for you
like,
for doing that.
This is your intuition.
So you do have a gift.
I do have a gift, and at the same time, everyone has a third
Some
eye chakra.
sort, yeah.
Everyone has the ability to be intuitive, but we turn it off
Right. I feel like some people are afraid of it.
Yep.
I'm not afraid of it. I feel like I have it. Sometimes it's eerie. You know what I mean? But then I think that it's kind of fascinating.
It
It's
is
such an
fascinating.
amazing. So let me ask you a question. If you sat here with me, would you feel my energy if you grab my hand?
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Oh. There's so much like sunshine and love in your heart.
Oh, I was waiting for all that crap to come out.
No, right now, because you know what? Because you're in your element.
Yeah.
And you're doing the thing that you love. So that's like the energy that's vibrating through you.
Really?
Right now,
Oh my
just
God.
This intense energy of love.
That's amazing. Danielle, I'm moving into the studios because apparently I'm all sunshine here. This is amazing. That was special, really?
Oh yes,
Wow.
absolutely. Yeah.
So it's great that I radiate some positive energy because the one thing that I have found in life is that everybody goes through stuff. And then when this is something I don't like to hear. Oh, they were mean to you, but listen, you don't know what they're going through. They don't know what I'm going through. So let's pretend we're all going through something and don't take your stuff out on others. The problem with me is that I go through life, nobody would ever know of all the traumatic events that I have experienced because it's nobody's fault. And it has nothing to do with anybody else. It's all me. And yes, it's a lot of weight on myself, but I would never take my stuff out on other people. There's a lot of people bitter because of what's happened in their world, and they walk around and they're awfully mean to people, and people are like, well, you don't know what they're going through. Well, they don't know what I'm going through. So I think that if we all treat each other with that same theory, nobody knows what everybody's going through, then we should all be a little kinder and a little bit more patient with each other.
Yes.
You know?
And that's actually, I love that you're bringing this up because that's something that I teach and I work a lot with is this unity consciousness.
What is unity consciousness?
So this is Akashic perspective. Earlier when I was talking about the Akashic records, so when I'm channeling from your spirit guides, it's channeling, yes, life force energy guidance and support, and it's channeling unconditional love. And so when we come into Akashic perspective, we're able to like see outside of ourselves, outside of our ego, and see see more from the heart space, like that everyone, everything, everywhere is connected.
Wow.
And though we might have different life experiences, we all have very similar life experiences.
Without a doubt, to different degrees or levels, absolutely. We all have some kind of something that people could relate to.
Yeah. And so kind of what I said before, some people choose to stay unconscious, and yes, they might take their anger out on us
It's
or
just
whatever.
sad. I was just,
It is.
you can feel it, right? I just want everybody,
Yeah.
can we all just get along?
Yeah, I know. And that's, again, that's like every soul is here for a reason at this time, and everyone's on kind of their different journey, and everyone's experiencing different life lessons. And so some people, some souls came here at this time to have a really like expansive life. Some people came to learn the lesson of trust and safety and security. And so we're all kind of on these different levels, but we're all working towards the same purpose, and that's to like come back together again as one, to be joyful
the divide of
and
everything.
to have and to stop seeing things as so separate. Like when we
Wouldn't
create,
that be amazing? Now, okay, what are kneecap goosebumps? What do you call those?
I don't know.
I just got goosebumps in my kneecaps.
I love that, actually.
Just
That's
that.
interesting. Yeah.
Divine kneecaps.
I would say those, like everything's connected. Those are the roots
So
of your
weird.
body. So there's like something in your root that's
Okay.
like trust and
It's
connection.
my root chakra
It is
talking
your
to
root
me.
chakra, yes. Yeah, so that's another thing that I teach people is living through the chakras, and that's how when I give Reiki, I follow the chakras,
Yes.
the 7 energy centers of the body.
I actually believe in all of that. I really, really do. I mean, I never studied it, but just everything I've ever listened to. I've had many Reiki treatments.
Yeah.
I've had the cupping and all the other stuff, but I've had the sound, the bells and the chimes, and there is really something to it. It's like it takes you into another place.
It does.
And it lifts you somewhere, and it makes you just let go of everything. And there's just something magical about it and cathartic.
That's what
and it's a beautiful thing. And I would like a lot of people to experience something like that. What types of people usually come to see you? What sort of emotional issues or mental health issues do they come to you for?
I would say usually the people that come to see me, as I said before, are energy sensitive,
Yeah.
or empathic. And they tend to come to me when they are experiencing a lot of anxiety or depression, or they're feeling really stuck in life. Those are like the top
Those are
three,
the three
reasons why people come to see me and work with me. And so just anxiety is a very root chakra oriented issue.
Ah.
So our root chakra is our energy center at the base of our spine, and that connects us to the earth. And so when we feel disconnected from the solid stability that the earth gives us, then that causes a lot of fear. We don't feel safe, right? And so anxiety is really excessive worry, excessive fear.
Whoa.
So to work with anxiety,
Sorry.
to work with anxiety, I usually recommend we focus on the root chakra and balancing and healing the root energy center.
Wow.
So everything is connected, everything is energy. So if you have like a chronic long-term or imbalance in the root chakra, yes, it might manifest in anxiety, but you might also start to get issues in the lower parts of your body. So your very low back, your legs, your knees, your feet. So again, these signs and symptoms that come up in the body are opportunities for us to tune in and what's really going on here.
So a lot of people don't realize that when you have a lot of stuff manifesting inside you, it can affect you not just emotionally, but physically. It can help you, it can damage your organs. It can damage your cells. It can damage your physicality, your body. You can go in and out of alignment a lot easier because you just, like you say, not grounded. I am one of those wearers that loves to take my shoes off, stand around the big rooted trees.
That's beautiful for the root
feel
chakra.
like, I love that, and I never understood why I loved it.
So
I just,
do you see how intuitive you are?
So
you
weird.
just like naturally know what your system needs.
That's so weird.
I want to go and stand next to a tree, have my bare feet in the earth. Like what is
something
more
about that.
grounding and supportive than that, than literally letting the earth's energy hold you up. Trees are so supportive. The energy from trees, I used to talk to trees when I was a little girl, and I started talking to them again because they have so much they want to give us.
Yeah, and they're old and wise.
They're old. They have so much wisdom within them. They give us oxygen. We give them carbon dioxide. So we're constantly in this beautiful energetic exchange with our environment.
They're amazing. They're miraculous. And you know what I love about, and we're going off topic, but I love aspen trees because all their roots, they're all conjoined underground. So they're one giant happy family.
Did you see how, that just came full circle. We were talking about unity consciousness and universal perspective, and like the aspen trees are this beautiful,
it's just amazing
example or way in which we can learn to live our lives. Everything's connected, and they give each other feedback and information, and they share nutrients, and so it's like,
oh my gosh,
we need to be the aspens.
So
right?
now I know the moral of our story today is be an aspen.
Be an aspen tree,
be an
people.
aspen tree. So let's get your information out there because this has been such a wonderful conversation, and I literally can feel your energy because I can see what a positive influence you can be on people, and we love people like you in our community that, like I said, we all have our different ways of healing, but maybe energy healing is for you. And if you want to go and just appreciate a session with you, Dana, how do people reach out to you, and where do they go, and all that good stuff?
So you can always head to my website. It's danateresa.com. That's DANATHERESA. And I have a brand new space called the Energy Center, which is in Avon. It's above the Vin 48 restaurant.
Oh, that's right around the corner from the TVA
Right around
studios.
the corner. And it's actually a shared and collective space. So I am there and have two other member healers that work out of there. I have Kristen Labaugh, who does sound healings every Sunday, après-ski sound healings every Sunday at 5 p.m. at the Energy Center. And then Jessica Shada does hypnotherapy and massage, and also some dance lessons. So we have lots of different ways in which you can experience holistic healing through different modalities at the Energy Center.
That's amazing, and I love it because a lot of people have different ways to express themselves or something, and I talk about this every week. There's a lot of people that are sitting at home going, gosh, you know, I feel kind of alone. I feel on my own. Take a class, go get a hypnosis, take a dance class, do something exciting and fun, step out of that comfort zone and do something positive for yourself, and that self-love will come, and then you can have this new freeing feeling and a new light, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what I think is so wonderful about what you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
so
you.
you're right here in Avon.
I'm right here in Avon. We have, the Energy Center has a Facebook page. It's the Energy Center CO, so you can head to the Facebook page and get all the updates on all the offerings and events that we have going on. I'm actually offering a new moon solar eclipse shamanic journey this Monday for that new moon solar eclipse. So if you want to come and restore and go through a deep guided meditation where you can connect to your intuition and your spirit guides, then this is like a wonderful opportunity.
I might want to do that.
You should come.
We're not going to be able to see the eclipse from here, so I might as well go do some kind of ceremony.
So you should at least come and experience the energy with us, with a beautiful group of
that
wonderful
sounds
souls.
Absolutely amazing. I can't thank you enough for being here with me today. This was a wonderful journey that we took, all about energy and healing and taking yourself to a better, higher place where we can all find ways to take care of ourselves and to feel better and to not always feel stuck. And that's what I love about bringing people like you on. Well, this was episode 15 of the Chat Box, live on YouTube and all of the other social media networks. You can also catch us in the mornings after Good Morning Vail on TV8 on Saturdays. And we are so happy to be here. I am a very grateful person for the space that we have to bring you all kinds of mentally healthy people and to give you all the different avenues on ways that you can grab hold of yourself and become bigger, better, brighter, happier soul. Again, thank you so much for being here. What's your number? Anyone want to throw out a number for anybody? Are you dating? No, I'm kidding. No, number for your business.
You can email me if you have questions at Dana, D-A-N-A, @oehealing.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Dana. You're wonderful.
Thank you.
A little bit more energy as we close out. We have the Chat Box. May something magical happen to you guys this weekend.
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
For 20 years, the historic TV series Greatest Sports Legends profiled the greatest athletes of the 20th century. Join us as we celebrate one of those special seasons. Presenting Greatest Sports Legends, Class of '82.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Greatest Sports Legends, Class of 1982. I'm Steve Rockfeld. Greatest Sports Legends was a series on television from 1974 to 1993. And in that span, we produced 206 shows of the greatest athletes of the 20th century. This is 1982, and it was a very special year because that year we were nominated for 3 Emmys. One for editing, one for writing, which we won, and one for our host, Ken Howard, the White Shadow. His very first show was on The Doctor, Julius Erving.
Julius Winfield Erving II, also known as Dr. J. Spectacular? Yes. Incredible? Definitely. Better than me? Well, I don't know about that. I'm Ken Howard, in some circles known as the White Shadow.
Hey, Julius, what's the matter? Nobody give you a game? Coach told me to work on my left hand, Ken. You oughta. I saw you miss one. I missed more than one before my career's over.
Don't hit everything, you never get a game.
How you doing?
Good. Now, don't be fooled by our shaking hands. It lulls him into a false sense of security. You see, the good doctor and I are going to play some one-on-one later. I hope to emerge victorious. I don't see why not, just because he's the most exciting basketball player on earth. But watch my form. Swish. It's a beautiful thing to look at.